Hi, Stephen Kennedy. I'm running for President of the United States. Before I start, I just want to point out one thing. Immigration is one subject, refugees are another subject. The subject I'm going to address right now is immigration. First of all, is it only me, or is the idea of building a 3,200-mile wall one of the stupidest things you ever heard of? There are oceans on both sides. A wall's not going to stop anything. It's ridiculous. First of all, how long is the wall? How wide is the wall going to be? How much property do we have to purchase on either side of it? Is it going to be a kill zone? If you have a wall, got to have a kill zone on the other side of it to where you can see people approaching the wall. Infrared, motion monitors, sound monitors. Do you know we built a 700-mile chain link fence, and that was $2.4 billion? That is more money than the amount of money that is contributed. If you read GAO reports, undocumented workers contributed $1.8 billion into our Internal Revenue Service. They don't get that much out of it. There are some states that allow some welfare, yes, but most states don't. And you know what? I'll say this. Isn't it the Christian thing to help people who aren't doing well? I mean, I'm confused. I get confused a lot. Conservative, Christian. But let's be cruel to these people, because honestly, the United States is committing genocide. The way the Border Patrol patrols the border, there are the heavy crossing areas they cover. They channel these people into the desert where they die. They die from thirst. They die from exposure. But these are people who are seeking a better life, which is the reason our ancestors came to America. And we're funneling them in the desert to die. I mean, we are committing genocide to our neighbors. And is it worth it? I mean, I would like someone to tell me how immigration is hurting us. If you had a fruit today, or a vegetable, there's a 40% chance an undocumented, and yes, they are not illegal aliens. They're undocumented immigrants. Because there isn't an actual, I've never seen anyone actually arrested for entering the United States and kept here. We just put them on a bus, bring them back. So, if you ate a vegetable or fruit today, there's a 40% chance an undocumented immigrant picked that. And if you send them back, who's going to pick your food? Because there isn't a class of Americans who are going to rush in and fill that group. Indeed, every time we've had massive, these deportation scares, and that's what they are. That's what they are. Because immigration is not a problem. Yes, there are some issues with it. We need to perk it up here and there. But it's not a major issue. The candidates want you to think it's a major issue. Partially for some of the other reasons I've already described. They don't want you to know that they're going to kill you with minimum wage. They don't want you to know that they are trying to lead you down this path so you don't see everything over here. Ultimately, it is just smoke and mirrors. Because if you could sit there and tell me an immigrant who actually has hurt you in any manner today, and I'm not worried about the made-up stories you're going to come up with, immigration is not a problem. There are issues with it. There are issues that we need to fine-tune and make correct. But there's not an invasion going on that we know of. And worse. You know how we cure it? You know how we fix immigration? Because sending all our jobs to other countries didn't work, because they're still coming here. People still want to come here because we're a land of promise. We're a land where opportunity exists. And now we want to say, well, that opportunity expired. If you're not a certain type of person anymore, your opportunity has expired. in spite of sending jobs all over the world and denying the American workers them, people still want to come here. Why? It's because of the opportunity we have here. And if we actually wanted to make a change, why don't we help Mexico? And I know, radical, y'all are freaking out on me right now. Why don't we help them with their infrastructure? They're our neighbor. I mean, after World War II, we virtually rebuilt Germany and Japan. We're doing all kinds of things in Iraq and Iran. And the thing is, I'm not complaining and saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying we're helping all these other people and ignoring our neighbor. I mean, in the long run, as the world goes on, our ties between Mexico and ourselves are going to be thicker and thicker. I mean, whether people are crazy about it or not, I live in San Antonio. I'm virtually on the border. I've gone down to Mexico. And there's actually two Mexicos. There's the border Mexico, and there's deeper Mexico, which they're almost like two different cultures. So instead of whining about it and being babies and trying to make it look like they're hurting our country, and I'll tell you right now, I've met plenty of illegals. Lots of them. If a guy wearing a ripped up t-shirt, ripped up jeans, holes in his sneakers, who risked his life coming here is a threat to your job, you need to go get a better job. Because these guys take the jobs that people here don't want. And then throw into this. Here in San Antonio, we have several what's called work spots, where you will see a lot of the undocumented laborers gathering in the morning. Guy drives up in a pickup truck, a couple guys jump in, go do a job. If they're so bad, why is an INS sitting there arresting the undocumented workers and arresting the guy picking them up because he's breaking the law? They don't, because they know there's no problem. Immigration is not a problem. And I know that's not an opinion a lot of you actually want to hear. And the funny thing is, I have people in the background there, and as I'm talking, they're all going, we live here on the border. It's not a problem. They're making it up for you. Let's fix the few problems we have with immigration. Let's be kind to our neighbor. And let's be Christians about this, huh? Instead of committing genocide on them. Y'all have a good night. And this time, well, God bless you too.